Why would we reward you with all this though? You know, you're evading in a car. They have to try to tackle you in a car 3 different times. You know, why not stop?
Next week.
I mean, let me ask you this. Do you possibly think that you're going to get away? You know,
Yes.
ma'am, you are charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It also looks like you are also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On that one, you're facing the same thing, up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It looks like they filed a felony evading in a motor vehicle as well. Is that going to be?
That's going to be dismissed once this plea is completed, Judge.
Okay, that's a great deal. I'm going to tell you that you don't get many bites of an apple of this kind. So, anytime you avoid a felony, you're winning, but it's not many times that they're going to do this, bend over backwards to let a felony go like this. Looks like they have offered you 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 2 years. As part of the probation, you will do a repeat offender DWI education class. You will do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what are the conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you have to fulfill them. They could be intensive outpatient treatment, supportive outpatient, could be inpatient treatment. I don't know. But until that point, you have to fulfill. Forfeit the weapon, no drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, an effective decision-making class, a victim impact panel, random urinalysis, 3 days in Harris County Jail as a condition, and no breath test refusal. What that means is that if you were pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you don't, you're in violation of this probation. I will tell you that if you violate this probation, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I will put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out in orange. And the only thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about if you violated your probation. If you do, you're looking at an entire year in jail. Do you understand?
I understand.
Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
You also need to understand that this now makes 2 DWIs on your record. What happens on the next?
Automatic felony.
You will be facing a 3rd-degree felony. Same now, what you're on the evading. A minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, get into a car because you were taking a huge risk when $30 and a button on your phone will get you to wherever you need to go. I do it every weekend. If I want to go out, this is how I do it. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You also give up the right to appeal. Like I said, so done today, done forever. How do you plead to the offense, man? I will find you guilty. I will send you to it. Are you appointed or retained on the case? There is a matter of the supervisory fee that you're going to have to pay. It's a big one. We will give you 2 years to pay it, but it's a lot of money. If you don't pay it, it's a lot of jail time. Do you understand?
I understand.
It's $6,000 plus I'll waive the court costs. So Kavita, when does she want to go in to do the time?
I'm going this weekend, Judge, to do the 3 days.
Okay. So to turn in 12/6 by 6 p.m. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
I am appointed, not even though I am retained on this case, Ms. Brazil does live on her own. She has no dependents, but she's an elementary school teacher, so she does have, I didn't know if there was, a way we can affect her financial situation to waive some of those fees.
Tell me about the evading in the motor vehicle. And when was the first DWI also?
So the stop was because she was driving 90 and 60. They attempted to stop her. She began to evade. Officers observed heavy traffic and used a pit maneuver to attempt to stop her from causing an accident. Officer attempted pit 3 times and was successful in the 3rd attempt. The distance of the pursuit was 4 miles. And her last DWI was in 2018 out of Montgomery County, and she received a 1-year probation.
And what other criminal history? Anything else?
I believe that's it, Judge.
What do you think?
I'm not going to be opposed to waiving fines and fees.
Why would we reward you with all this though? You're evading in a car. They have to try to tackle you in a car 3 different times, you know? Why not stop?
Next week.
I mean, let me ask you this. Do you possibly think that you're going to get away? You know, I don't think I've ever, other than someone driving one of those souped up, like, what are those, Stephen, what are those cars that those Dodge, those really souped up, no, but they're like those SUVs that can climb up nearly a vertical wall because they're so damn powerful. But really, do you think that you're possibly going to get away?
I don't think this was, she didn't realize the cops were behind her. And there was a lot of mitigating factors that we presented to the state. That's why they're dismissing the evading case. So it's not one of those types of situations. She was just running from the cops, trying to get away. She really was trying to move out of the way and didn't realize that they were behind her.
I don't know which kind of conversation you've had with the prosecutor in the felony
No,
court.
at some point, you have to get it. You've got a DWI from 18. You've now got one. And how many lives do you put in danger by evading like that? Imagine if you would have hit and killed someone. There was a lady here, there was a nurse here in Houston, goes up to LA, and it's on the news. You can watch it, where she's got this Mercedes, and it's a banging Mercedes, like it's a white, just, she blows through a stop sign at like 95 miles an hour. And you can watch it on the news. She plows into traffic, and it's a huge fireball, kills 6 people, gets charged with 6 counts of murder, or it was 5 counts of murder, 5 or 6 counts of aggravated assault. You know, how many lives ruined because of that one boneheaded movement? You know, I don't know, Kavita, what? Give me a good reason. Tell me something nice.
Judge, and her finances are limited.
Can you tell them that I take care of my mother?
Do you really teach in elementary school?
She
You
does.
teach our kids?
And she's taking care of her mother who's moved in with her, so she's got a lot of financial burdens on her. She did retain us, but we're putting her on a payment plan with a reduced cost because it's a referral from a family friend of Mr. Sliders, or a work friend of Mr. Sliders.
If I have to reduce my fees, you got to do too.
I did, Judge, I promise you.
I'm happy that you're a teacher, but kids look up to you, you know, is this right? You know, kids, you know, a kid looks up to you for love, compassion, patience, to teach them the right thing to do. And this isn't it. Do better. Be better. All right, Kavita, I will.
And Judge, this is just a sample of 1 of 2 pages of her recent AA meetings. She's been going to AA meetings since the spring of this year, and she's done all of her classes already. She's done a lot, and she's been going to counseling as
Great.
well.
You know, and I routinely preach this, that there are 2 types of people in this world that drink. There are those that drink and they become happy, merry, joyous. They're cracking jokes. They like to be the life of the party. And there are those that turn into complete animals. If that's you, just don't drink. Find something else to do in life. But if you're going to drink, be happy, be nice, be that jovial person. All right? All right. Yeah. All right. Good luck, man. All right. Oh, yeah. I have to I'm going to suspend your license for a year. I have to. It's a second offense. Yeah. Do well. Show us that you're doing well. Don't have any positives, and we can talk about granting you an occupational license. But the law, it's a second DWI. I have to suspend your license. I'll do it. Typically, most do it for 2 years. I'll do it for a year. Show me that you're doing well, and we can talk about an occupational license. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll circle back on the occupational license later.